This is Jonathan Ward, host of First Things First, and this is exciting. I have a couple of guests in the studio here with me. Tsering Lodoe is a Tibetan singer, a cultural ambassador from Dharamsala, and he has gone to the Tibetan Institute of Performing Arts. He's performed for His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, and he is truly a cultural ambassador. I had an opportunity to hear him singing, and he has the familiar throat singing, of course, many people know of, but there's so much more to that. In fact, he is a Tibetan opera singer. So I'd like to welcome him, and also Don Paris, who plays guitar and sings along with him. And we're going to have a live performance and hear some of their music. So both of you, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
And Tsering, there is so much more than the throat singing that people know of. So Tibetan opera, what is the history of that? Is this many centuries tradition, or?
Yes, it's early, like maybe I think during 17 or that 14th century kind of stuff. Yeah, so it's been long. The Tibetan opera was founded by a saint called Saint Townsend, and he's known as a bridge builder for Tibet. During his period, he have learned that Tibet needs some bridges. So it's hard for people to travel.
Right.
And across the river to the lakes or whatever. And then he started this performing arts that he can also raise fund through this kind of performing arts. So, and then there's also a few other stories, but just make it simple that Tangton Gyalpo was the founder of Tibetan opera.
And was it an oral tradition? Was it written down, or was
yes, it's written down, and we have a lot of different stories that we always share. And
great. Well,
so yeah.
Many people know that Colin Foden and I host a show on opera, but we're about to take it to a whole nother level. So if you'd be willing to perform a little bit of that, he's got a drum here, and he's going to give us a sample of the Tibetan opera, Tsering Lodoe. Tawase.
So this is the way that we sing the Tibetan opera.
Wow, that's just incredible. Luciano Pavarotti's getting a run for his money there on that one. There's even more than opera. You do all sorts of songs, and are you actually composing original Tibetan contemporary music, or are you doing contemporary arrangements of traditional Tibetan music?
I do both.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have few other musics that I have sang for many, like different documentaries, movies,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
You have the movie Himalaya.
Yes.
And you also 7 Years in Tibet, the movie with Brad Pitt. You were
yes, I sang. There was 2 opera songs of mine
Mm-hmm.
were sang on that movie, and yeah, I was recorded at George Lucas in San Francisco
Mm-hmm.
at that time.
Great movies, and you're award-winning. You've won some awards for your the Tibetan Music Awards for your performances.
Yes, that's the contemporary Tibetan music that we make for the younger generations, you know, to let them be with our music, you know. So we use Tibetan traditional instruments and different other instruments like guitar, you know, like drum kits or whatever, you know, to bring them live with us, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have actually your guitarist here, Don Paris, and would the songs that you do together, would that be one of the contemporary arrangements of a traditional piece?
Some of the pieces we've done are adaptations of some of the traditional, more chanting type, mantra type sounds, and but where we've kind of taken it now is, I would say, more in the New Age direction of a little bit into the mantra singing and also just more meditative type music.
Mm-hmm.
We have some up tunes as well, some more popular type tunes, but we're looking for bringing this focus. The Tibetans have a very fine, refined focus.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I really admire about them.
Mm-hmm.
The meditation techniques that they've practiced for thousands of years have become exquisitely refined.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what attracted me so much to Lodoe.
Mm-hmm.
I've practiced meditation since I was about 17.
Mm-hmm.
And when we met, we just had an instant chemistry of not only music, but energetically together. And that's what the most exciting part for me is just to be able to play with a master Tibetan performing artist like this. And the only difficult part of working with him is I do all the recording and engineering as well. The difficult part of working with him has been that oftentimes when we're creating a new song and working together, he brings me to tears and I'm over there crying my eyes out while he's trying to sing. It's a true story. It's quite moving when he starts really catching on to the spirit of the music. It's such a moving experience, what you felt last night.
Sure, absolutely.
Live, it just blows over the whole crowd. And to be sitting in the studio when that happens, it may happen to you today. We'll see.
Do you think you could hold your composure to put it together to give us a performance?
Yeah, it's not quite as bad when I'm playing because I have to focus myself. But when I'm just sitting there listening, I go into that altered state. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to hold your composure.
Right.
That's the problem.
Well, great. So if you guys would be willing, one of the pieces that you guys play together.
Sure.
That one?
Which one to?
How about Lama Cheno?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell them what Lama Cheno is and what it means?
Lama Cheno, actually, Lama is kind of a master, you know, your guru or whoever guides you, you know. And Cheno means it's kind of a respect, you know, the great Lama. You know, it's simply, I will say, Lama Cheno, it's like my great Lama or my root Lama or, you know, the gurus that you really respect. So the Lama Cheno, when we compose this song, you know, sometimes you want to say something to your Guruji and you want to receive something that you are not receiving it, you know, you're not understanding or whatever. So sometimes he might be very near and it's easy to say, hey, Lama Cheno, please, I need this help. But sometimes he's far. Sometimes he don't have time to or sometimes he have to adjust his own time. So you were like so far from him, and then you were trying to reach. So sometimes I sang a couple of those melody in an uplifting voice because I want to reach him, let him know that what kind of problems or what kind of things that I need, to be a better person. So it's kind of like it's also an offering song for the lamas or the guru. Yeah.
So the Cheno, is that part of the name, like Lama Cheno? Is that like Guruji?
No,
Cheno
means it's you admire or you just respect. It's kind of precious. Cheno.
Yep.
Something like it's big. It's Chimbu means big, but so.
Great. Well, thanks for that introduction.
Yeah.
Please, when you're ready.
Here we go.
Wow. Well, I was standing and I almost had to sit down. So I understand. I understand what you were talking about there. That was absolutely beautiful. So the you attended, I guess would be the word, the Tibetan Institute for the Performing Arts. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. It's called, in short, it's called TIPA. So once, if you're down in Dharamsala or India, if you want to know more about TIPA, so it means Tibetan Institute of Performing Arts. So in 1983, I mean, like they were looking for a young artist, that they can train and become an artist for Tibet. And so I was luckily one of them. And then I was in a city called Shillong. And so a group of Tibetan performer came down there, and they were looking and they were selecting. I didn't know that they were selecting at that particular moment, But finally, I was selected among the 23 young kids. And then they brought me to Dharamsala, and so we start learning how to perform, dance, singing, And then that was the kind of I started, yeah. So.
And the TIPA was started by His Holiness the Dalai Lama in 1959.
Yeah,
is that correct? That's the way to maintain cultural heritage.
So the first step or the first institute, and TIPA is known as the first institute in exile. So because he really thought that he thought that, I mean, like, this is the most important thing that he might have to start sooner, and then in 1959, then he started the Tibetan Institute of Performing Arts and another school, and to preserve Tibetan traditions and let the people know about the story of Tibet, through art. So, yeah.
So when you attended that and completed your studies there, and now you live in Montana, is that correct?
Yes, I moved to Montana. Right.
So after you graduate, do they just say, okay, now go take it to the world and send you off to Montana? How did you end up in Montana?
Well, actually, I was here in Seattle for a while, and then I was working at one of the co-op, and then later, it was quite difficult for me to adjust the time, to be honest. Sometimes like music like keep calling me back, so then I have to say goodbye to the co-op, and then I started performing since last May, and then decided to go down to Montana. And Montana looks like a little bit the country that I never seen, I'm from Tibet, but I don't know what really Tibet looks like, So Montana have that taste a little bit, like the mountains, snows, and all the natural, like
big,
that,
big sky,
big
and
sky,
plain type of thing, right?
And then I thought like, okay, I'll move down and see what I can do down there, and then I'm still down here in Montana. I'm looking forward to get a proper job that secure my daily life, and then continue my music, So so it's been a year, down there. It's getting better and better, and hopefully I will continue down there in Montana. If unlucky, then I have to move.
Right.
So then I'm doing my best down there, and then a lot of things are very similar. I like Montana. One is because of the native, the tribes, the people,
right. Native Americans.
the Native Americans, and the singing that I do, it's kind of similar that they have.
Have you sung with any?
Oh
Native
yeah,
American
I
groups?
did. I went to participate at the Sweat Lodge. They let me call the spirit, and thank the spirits, or so many things. I'm really trying, and also. So I like their flute. So one flute is this that I'm carrying with me. Somebody gave me in Coeur d'Alene, it's part of the Montana. I was there last November, and I was looking for this particular flute, and a friend of mine gave it to me, and then I've been playing this, and then it's like that I play this from many, many years, but I'm not.
That's from Montana.
Yeah, this is from typical Montana. And so I always play a little piece of what I have got from this flute. So if you don't mind, I'll just
please.
share.
Yes,
and
absolutely,
this,
please.
and it's a small gift from Montana.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I love this tone, so it just came up, so I play.
Wow, that is really a cross-cultural thing there. We have a flute from Native American flute from Montana, and is that particular melody Tibetan melody? Is that something you composed?
I compose it kind of stuff, but I have a few melodies that there are a few melodies that I add, like kind of also a Tibetan melodies, you know. So I try to blend it together and have it a one piece, you know. So it's kind of like most east and west. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that it seems to be the way that the Tibetan culture is crossing and spreading throughout the world. So it is a truly a bridge in many ways, and you're doing that in the music too.
We've also found the Montana influence has been influencing our music, and so we're on Tibetana number 3 now. We've done Tibetana 1, which was already released in Europe through Silencio and Dharma Records. And then Tibetana 2 was released last month, which Lodoe can tell you the magical story about that. That was really beautiful. So now we're recording Tibetana number 3, and what we're noticing, maybe consciously but almost unconsciously, this Native American theme is seeping into the music, and we're finding a really nice blend of the Tibetan, and I'm American, so the American, maybe New Age roots music coming in along with the Native American and Tibetan, and it's creating quite an interesting blend. So I'm really excited about, of course, we're always excited about Tibetana 3. The newest is always the most exciting.
Also like not native like songs, like I've been to the powwow, you know, and like the chicken dance, you know, the circle dance, and so I've been to incense ceremony and all these things. There are so many similarities, you know. So I really love like being down there, and also maybe I want to try. You know, Don, this one, that have a little bit kind of the style that we are trying to create. So maybe
for Tibetana 3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah,
okay,
Tibetana
great.
3.
Yeah,
And it also has when we did it live, you know, not live, when we did it in the studio, we had a really beautiful Native American frame drum, and so that frame drum kind of accents that feeling, and I don't know if we'll quite get that feeling today, but we can see if you want to bang on a little bit with it. It might pick up that feeling.
And this drum that you used during the opera is, I assume, is a Native American drum too.
Yeah,
so
that's correct.
Right.
Okay, well, let's see. This one's really new, so we'll see if we can get through it.
It's only radio, no problem.
And also, they have lots of the similar.
Oh, right.
So that you know, always once I hear this, then it for me, to be honest, like sounds that I've been singing this for many years.
It's an archetypal type of
and then it sounds like I know this song, you know. So when I jump and like, you know, go with sing with different native people, like you know, when I saw the powwow and all these things, these songs kind of naturally, it comes from kind of like bottom by my, you know, that it says that it sounds like I'm related to these songs like for many years. So it's kind of easy, you know, and then also to do it, and also very energetic kind of stuff, you know. So just singing without single kind of a beat, you know, there's nothing, just quiet, and then the melody comes, you know, and then you just sing it.
Nice.
Shibasho Yala Chabasho Yala Shibasho Yala Chabasho Dashi Dada Namla Ye Latseva Pumba Namla Ye Dala Shibashu Yala Chabashu Dala Shibashu Yala Chabashu Yeah, coming soon.
Already here. That's tremendous. Having watching you here, and also having seen you perform, both of you, but you especially, really pour yourself into your singing it with your all of you, your whole being, and you're doing that here. So hopefully that comes across. It certainly comes across here, and you recently did perform in Port Townsend. What sort of performance schedule do you have? Is it just kind of wherever it takes you, or how does that work?
Sometime that's true, and sometime at least. Well, I don't have kind of manager or something like who really like organize everything. So I have to deal everything with by my own and see if somebody else is interested or not. So, and then it's obviously it's about the budget, so some they have money, some they don't have. So, and right now day after tomorrow, it's on 1st, I'm off to Minnesota, so I'm helping the Tibetan community down there and raising a fund for some other causes, so mostly like there's kind of helping stuff.
Are there particular areas in the United States where there are stronger Tibetan communities that you go to?
Yes, we have. New York, it's kind of the largest, and then San Francisco Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, New York City, and also we have in Minnesota, where I'm going on the 1st September. So it's kind of the large kind of community down there, but we have lots of like small communities around United States, almost like. Now you can see every Tibetans in every other states, or cities, like there's at least 10 or 20 this black hair guys, the yak boys, Yeah, so yeah, it's now more Tibetan starts coming US, and then we have already here since 70s, we have Tibetans living here in the United States.
And so that's your performance schedule for your music. I actually looked on your website, and let me give that out to people if I can find that again. But your music, first of all, if somebody wanted to find some of your music, it's available on Amazon, iTunes, CD Baby, I think all the usual places. And that is Tsering Lodoe, and how do you spell it? It's Lodoe?
Correct.
Yeah, and the word to remember is Tibetana. We've kind of taken the Tibet word and added a little ana on it. So it's tibetanamusic.com, and that's where you can find his CDs, some samples, and of course you can actually just purchase right online from the website or download it. We have downloads available as well through several outlets.
And there was another website that I looked on.
It's the same one.
That it was a completely different spelling.
Yes, that's
Young. It's
that's the Tibetan one for the Tibetan people.
It's www.rolyoung.com. Rolyang. .com.
Yes, I was on there, and it's nice because you can listen to some nice samples, get a sense of the music, which I think we've gotten a sense of here, but if you want to hear more, it's a nice place to go.
It's actually the same website. It's just for American listeners. That's hard to remember. So we also have TibetanaMusic.com. Goes right to the same website.
Web page,
Yeah.
Great. Well, this is tremendous. You have a couple of other, yet another instrument or two that you brought in here.
Yeah, this is Tibetan horn.
Okay. Back up.
And back up. So normally this has been used, it's just kind of a ceremonial or the monastic kind of instrument, so it's kind of a little bit a spiritual, I'll call it like spiritual instrument, and you will hear not too many things from this, but there's something. So, but I want to share this. And then this is called Tung Chen. So Tung means horn, any kind of horn, The Chen means it's again a size. It's big. So that's why, Cheno, that's Chen again. So it's Chen means actually like big. It's like something important or, But let's see.
Yeah.
Just gonna blow it, so.
Yeah.
Make that look so easy. Is it easy to play that? Or do you really have to practice?
People call me this one they looks like, oh, is this a Tibetan didgeridoo? So kind of.
Not exactly right. Is it? Let me tell you, it's got a very small mouthpiece. It tapers towards the mouth end, so it's not like a didgeridoo that's generally the same diameter throughout, and it expands at the end to a bell. And it's probably at least little over 3 feet, 3.5 feet. Long and
the longest I have found for now it's like 12 point something feet. So I brought this last at the Whidbey Island, but maybe next time I'll bring it in Port Townsend.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to thank both of you for coming in here, taking the time, and sharing this unique music that you're both so passionate about here on the station. And hopefully you'll be performing again in Port Townsend. If that's the case, again, come visit us. We'll put you guys on the air and let people know about your show. And thank you both for coming in.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. It's been
Thanks.
a pleasure.
I'd also like to thank Don White for editing of this show. Could not have done it without him. So thanks to Don. And
thanks, Don.
Yeah, thank you,
Thanks, Don.
That's awesome.
Don.
All the Dons.
Yes, right, all the Dons. Don Paris. And again, let me just say, this is Jonathan Ward. We've been talking with Tsering Lodoe, and that's Lodoe, cultural ambassador, musical cultural ambassador from Tibet, with his co-musician, producer, engineer, Don Paris on the guitar. And thank you all for tuning in.